14 Penn State, and that was a loss as well. So both these teams with the taste of defeat in their mouths, trying to change that here as we get started. It's Henry Dodge at the face-off position for Maryland, matching up against Andrew Mcmeekin. A brisk afternoon at CQ Stadium. Terps will start with possession. Dodge continues to do what he does best after leading the country in face-off percentage last season at Vermont. And so now we get our first.
Last time out against Penn State, they needed that.
Back to the middle we go with the visiting Tigers up 1. Face-off goes to Maryland. Dodge 2 for 2. And the Terps quickly falling behind. It's a Princeton team that has just had historic offensive numbers. They were top 10.
Here, that possession looked a little bit slow from Maryland. Then they get to Whittier. Whittier unleashes. Kensington native just 25 minutes away from here. And in front of the home crowd, obviously gets off to a great start in this one.
Jonah Carrier on the face-off for Maryland, but it's temporarily scooped up by the Tigers. This will go Princeton's way. Here's our first look at Chad Palumbo, as you mentioned in the open dash, playing up front today. Only good things to say about Palumbo. He described him as a steady hand in this Princeton team. As Carrier wins the face-off for the Terps. Here comes Trevor Owens the other way. He finds Spano to number 11 right here. 2-all. Back to the face-off we go. And it's Dodge again there for the Terps, who had it for a moment. Who's got it? Princeton does. And the Tigers will set up. Watch dash of it. They're both phenomenal players. Lyons is very skillful and is able to score these acrobatic goals. And Leo Johnson, it's not like he's not that, but he's maintains a lot of speed and a lot of fire. Now here's Princeton off the face-off, looking for a shot on Ruppel. It falls, a backward shot saved by Ruppel. And it's poked back into the cage where Ruppel can clean it up. Nicely done by Michael Alec. Back to the middle now with the Terps up by 2. In a lively first quarter here at CQ. It's Carrier in the middle, infraction on Princeton. The Terps get possession. On a silver platter for Dunphy.
I have to say, his shift to attack is working out early on. Got a goal and an assist now, and both of them were really nice plays.
Face off, still looking for it, was Carrier. It's won by Princeton. Here's Russ Fitzgerald, the freshman, with it.
Fitzgerald, that's a candidate for the most interesting man on either team. Says that outside of lacrosse, he likes DJing and running.
By the Terps. Here's the 10th face-off of the afternoon to start the quarter. Dodge back up there for the Terps against Mcmeekin, but it's the Tiger, Mcmeekin, who wins it to start off the second quarter. Princeton on offense first. And Syracuse in a very orange matchup. And he's got a goal here, 4-4. Both teams have been sprinting out of the gate so far. Face-off, won by Princeton. They've won 5, the Terps have won 4. Given away.
Yeah, good job by Princeton getting set again defensively, so Maryland couldn't just take advantage.
First goal of the college career for Parker Reynolds, freshman out of Manlius, New York. Terps win the face-off. This is Jonah Carrier taking it. Now Leo Johnson.
It's the lead again.
Just a wicked angle. That ball with, what is that, like a 1/4 arm slot goes to the top of the pole, to use a baseball term there. Mcmeekin tries to answer, and another goal. It's Colin Burns, and he was on your ring camera with that one right in front of cage, and it's 7-5. Princeton, just like that, has added 2, and they lead by 2.
Yeah, burglar entered the house. The police couldn't arrive anywhere near in time that one. I mean, what a bit of work, though, by Mcmeekin off the face-off, just sprinting immediately. No need to wait. Finds Burns, and Burns took a second to juke out Ruppel and just finds the finish. I mean, that is such good play by Mcmeekin to set him up. Such good composure by Burns. And, man, Princeton right now has got a bit of pep in their step.
What a start for the Tigers out of the last time out. One that ended with Maryland on the momentum. Face-off here won by the Terps. Henry Dodge able to collect it.
Yeah, he needed a win. It just felt like Princeton's won most of the last big face-offs.
9.3 on the clock. Face-off goes to Maryland. They dump it off quickly. A.J. Larkin with the ball in his hands to Johnson. Gets past one, looks for a shot on Chronic, and it's no good. Saved by the Princeton.
I think it's a sign that he's growing into his role. There's certainly positives.
Carrier and Mcmeekin in the middle here to start off the second half. Carrier has won 4 of his 7 face-offs. Mcmeekin has been 7 of 12. A fight for it here, won by the Terps. For a moment, Carrier had it. Still loose, and now Princeton's got it. So the brief face-off win negates his first career point, first Maryland last season. Adds a goal here, his first of the season. 8-6 as we return to the center circle. Face-off, presumably won by the Terps, but nowhere to go for Maryland. Dodge initially had a shot at it. Now it's Princeton who goes the other way. It was Trey Fleece who couldn't hold on. Pass above the stick, but Princeton able to take. It was only after some second half adjustments by John Tillman and his staff where the Terps were able to pull very close to the orange. Face-off infraction goes on Princeton. This is Maryland ball here. And this really, Dash, just feels like a possession you have to score, regardless of the extra work. And he was definitely doing so on that last possession, just making something out of nothing. Terps win the initial face-off, and now we'll take it, trying to hunt further into this Princeton lead. What has been a fascinating third quarter so far. Face-off won by Mcmeekin of Princeton. The Tigers will start on offense.
Yeah, now it feels like the Tigers just need to slow Maryland down, because suddenly Maryland's looking the best they've looked offensively in a while. Going over Rutgers is certainly far from over.
Of course, that Penn State team, one that Princeton is eager to face again this season in the tournament. Maryland going quickly off the face-off. Eric Spanos knocks one through, and it's 10-9. He was largely missing for a large part of this game in the second quarter, and number 1 with the goal to put the deficit at 1 for the Terps.
This feels like the first quarter again. I mean, so fast. This time it's the Terps who are really hustling off the face-off, and a great pass to Spanos. He buries it. Really, really good play by Maryland right there. And we got a shout out at that moment, Henry Dodge, who maybe hasn't had the game he was looking for, but had a great run off the face-off and great pass.
Second goal this afternoon for Spanos. And Maryland still fighting back here. Dodge wins the face-off. Still with it, Dodge. It falls to Leo Johnson.
Yeah, it's good that Maryland's getting Dodge going now. Gets that critical goal.
The Princeton offense in the late seconds of the shot clock has really given the Terps a hard time. And the Tigers on the road are about to head into the final quarter up by 2. Boy, what a win this would be for a Princeton team that historically has not done very well against Maryland, and specifically John Tillman, who's 8-0 versus the Tigers in his career. We'll go to the fourth quarter. 11-9, Princeton ahead. Potential upset brewing in College Park. College lacrosse, but this series has not been super close. The 50th meeting, Maryland, we talked about it in the open, has won 37 of the games. 21 of them have been in College Park. 21 of their wins, I should say. Still a fight for it on the face-off. This was Jonah Carrier in the game for Maryland. And the Terps will get on offense first behind Rupel.
And you know, Daniel, we were talking about how critical that last possession was for Maryland. I think this one now is pretty close to make or break. Not necessarily because there's no chance of winning if they don't score here, because momentum-wise, it just feels like they need something again, because Princeton has responded.
Stamos able to work through a double team. Flag goes up as Zach Whittier checks in.
Another flag.
2 flags. Just haven't seen a look like that for the Terps on offense. That
yeah.
was very easy for Vanna in the waning seconds of the possession. And back to the circle goes Henry Dodge. His team now down by 4.
I mean, I think Princeton has just had more escapability today. They've found those little moments where they can pull away from Maryland. The Terps haven't found that in a while.
Face-off picked up by Andrew Mcmeekin.
It's a huge win for Princeton, just keeps up that momentum. Maryland now can't get that quick response, and at this point, Princeton could just slow the game down as much, maybe this save of the game.
A guy who just has been really consistent in cage for Princeton over the course of his career. Chronic now in his senior campaign. He's the Ivy League goalie of the year last season with 241 saves. And he has led his Tigers to a lead here. But Princeton is not out of the woods yet, as Maryland got back with a goal from Eric Spanos, his third today.
Yeah, they had to have that goal too, because there's a moment where it just felt like Maryland needed
their ages. You know, a freshman is not necessarily going to need as much kind of rest in these practice weeks as a guy like Eric Spanos does, who's in his 5th year. And that's something that the Terps so far in this game, they've benefited from Spanos' goal-scoring ability. Nice move by Schaller to cross into Princeton territory. Today he's won 10 of 14. Dodge has won 8. Just feels like it's been a new life injected into CQ Stadium here. 13-12. The home Maryland Terrapins trail by 1. Face-off goes to the Tigers. Big win here for Princeton. Now they go the other way. Muller looks to find a pass, and he gets one with Wade.
If they can hold the ball here, though, there's barely any difference between shot and game clock. So for Princeton now, I think you just have to see if you can keep possession as long as possible.
Comes down to forcing a ground ball here if you're Maryland in the